I had to make a last-minute plane change to a different airline. And I had to be at the airport to make the change. When I got there, I saw the line I needed to be in. And it was one of those long Disney World lines, twisting, turning, endless. I said to myself, I'm going to miss this flight. But then I had an idea. I eased up into the belt barrier, I ducked under it, and eased toward the front of the line. No one noticed. Well, so I thought. Till I saw an agent officer staring right at me. I pretended I didn't see him. Next thing you know, he's on his walkie-talkie. And another person came up and they started talking to each other. They walked toward me, and when they got close, I heard, "Are you James Trapp?" And I said, "Yes." And I'm thinking, this is not good. But then the agent said to his partner, "This is the guy I was telling you about. He was at that event yesterday and on that panel, and what he said helped me make a decision I've been holding off for 10 years. And he turned toward me and said, "What you shared changed my life. I just wanted to thank you." At that moment, I moved from thinking I'm going to be put on the no-fly list to standing there with stunningness, grateful, and relieved. But there was a time that I didn't get any relief. That day, my heart was pounding so loudly, I was certain that the people next door could hear it. The night before, I had maybe 3 hours of sleep. And my mind is stuck, struggling and juggling how to deal with reducing staff and all the things that came with the organization and reducing budgets. And at that moment, I realized that things were really getting bad. I went back to my office and I stared at one sentence in an unfinished email. At that moment, deadlines loomed and decisions pressed against me. I could hardly breathe past the feeling that no matter what I did, someone would say, "It's a betrayal." I'm at my breaking point. My organization has a very severe staffing shortage, and we need help. And our organizational board can't figure out a way to agree how to move forward. Some of them are saying, just use some of the reserves, hire more people, and maintain the quality of the programs. Others were saying, don't spend more money, just get volunteers. Neither side would budge. They were dug in. I'm at my wit's end. I can't even get past this, and I'm completely worn out. I know I needed to do something, because if I do nothing, everything will come to a complete stop. Then I realized what the real problem is. The real problem wasn't about money or staff or budgets. The real problem is something that inflicts our society today. People who have life or death attachment to their opinions. People don't want to let go or release their opinions. And the more they debate, the further away they get from a solution. In that moment, I realized I didn't need to just make a decision. I needed a bridge that will close the separation between opposing groups. Then I wondered, is there a way for people beyond these decisions where they can rise above this polarization and discover something better and do it together, then I ran across a statement from physicist David Bohm. And Bohm noted, if we are to live in harmony with ourselves, we need to communicate freely in a creative movement in which no one permanently holds to or otherwise adheres to their opinion. It was a light bulb moment for me. In that moment, I recognized and realized that to move beyond polarized disputes, it's not about who can argue the longest or the hardest or the loudest. Instead, people must drop their shield of absolute certainty, where they say, I'm right, and everyone else is wrong. What is needed is open-minded dialogue. When organizations, leaders practice open-minded dialogue, us versus them debates dissolve, and contentious disputes turn into creative moments of connection. When we practice open-minded dialogue, we're not trying to win. Instead, we listen and wonder what is possible. When we stop and ponder that question long enough, we create a void, an opening, so to speak, so that something new, almost magical, something magical not only comes up with something new, but something unexpected. Imagine two objects, a suitcase and a set of wheels. Separately, they have their own purpose and are distinct from one another. But someone saw them differently. And now we all walk through airports with rolling luggage. The same possibility exists when we engage in a contentious dispute and we practice open-minded dialogue. In 2012, there was a study by researchers Brenew, Dufar, and Sachs, in which they realized that if they found people who had polarized disputes and they engaged in listening to the other's story completely, polarization decreased, empathy increased, and beliefs changed. Why? We stopped trying to make the other person wrong. We listen without judgment. We release our firm grip on a firmly held belief. We are curious and not confrontational. And when we replace confrontation with curiosity, everyone feels safe to reconsider their positions. This week, find someone, a friend, a colleague, a coworker. Better yet, find someone that you cannot stand and never agree with, and take the first step of open-minded dialogue. Listen deeply. That's the first step. With open-minded dialogue, we're not playing against one another. We're playing with one another. And when we play with one another, we discover something new, and everybody wins.